We just helped make 16 people over $267,000. What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, we are going to break down and show you how a real-life case study. This is going to be a real-life case study of how I made 16 people a complete $267,000.
Insane.
So that's right. Let me say it one more time. Me and Rick helped 16 people for free how to make exactly $267,000. And what I want to do is break down the case study on this, show how we did it, how they did it, and most importantly, how you can do the same thing. Now, I can just straight up tell you, this is not a fairy tale thing. And these are not the only 16 people we teach, right? We teach tens and close to, 100,000 active students of Wholesaling.com how to get into this game. But what I want to do is just break down 16 big deals that people did just publicly thanking us. And we just want to break those down and show that like the people publicly thanking us is like 10%. The other 90% want to become anonymous, which is great.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. Like we had another guy, he made 700 grand last year and he never posted one check. And we're going to get him on the podcast. So it's going to be pretty cool there. But what I can tell you is we help a lot of people. And what we want to do is break down these real life case studies to show you exactly how these people do it so you can replicate their success. Guys, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here, right?
Yeah.
All you have to do is do what they do and get the same results.
Yeah. And understand that people are going to show you it's their own admission. They're like, hey, this is great what you guys did. Everybody else told me I couldn't do it. Was, I didn't have skin in the game. And it's just a small fraction of what goes out there. So like most courses you guys see is they only do their best to the students. We're just taking like a rough snapshot. And some people want to be honest and we're completely fine with it. You guys got to be careful when you do testimonials. And if you believe in it, it's great. But I learned a long time ago, testimonials last a super long time. So we like them authentic. And when it comes from you, because we don't go and chase you down for it. We never will, because you guys do the hard work. So if you want the recognition for it and you want to help out others, then great. Share the stories. They're all over our Wholesaling Houses for Real Facebook page. So
that's it. Look at Luca right here. Add an extra 8,000 to the number, man. Closing 1 April 20th because of your ROS postcard. Shout out to Luca. Yeah. We actually had a JV deal with Luca in Plano, Texas. I think it was like what, 8-9 grand. We got 8-9 grand. So I think he got what's half of that, right? I mean, that was at 18-20 grand. Yeah. So he's getting tens of thousands of dollars from us learning. So we're literally paying him to learn how to wholesale. Yeah, another 8 grand. So this way, he made 20 grand from us, right? And guess what he does? He invests in. He literally goes to mailingmaster.com, invests in direct mail that we showed him how to do. We didn't charge him to learn direct mail.
Yeah.
Pours probably a grand or two into the direct mail, and then boom, another $8,000 deal. Like, guys, what we do is not rocket science.
And now he has a skill set he can repeat and repeat, and as he grows his business,
right there,
it's going to be unbelievable. And he's just like starting it out. So I'm here to tell you is, me and Zach were told not too long ago, this is never going to work out what you guys are doing. There's no way you can teach people how to do this and not charge massive coaching fees. And I'm here to tell you guys, we have stripped the barriers. Stop believing, stop having other people tell you how you have to wholesale. Understand, do it with people that actually do the business. And we don't run a coaching program because all we do is run our businesses and then we give back and just tell you how to do it. There is no secret between my course and a fully paid course. I tell you everything what to do in freewholesaling.com, no holds bar. And I'm dead serious about it. We've had thousands of testimonials, none of which I've ever asked for. I know we have the largest wholesaling community. If anybody wants to challenge me, I'm wide open on it because we make it free to everyone. We reverse engineer it. The ones that want to take the most amount of action and apply the skill sets we teach, they're going to do phenomenal. So I love the way we do it.
That's it. No $12,000 program. None of this crazy stuff to get into it. Sorry, I'm mistaken. He spent $360.
There you go.
So it's like, come on.
What's the ROI on that?
It's crazy. So guys, we do this just to show you this stuff's possible. And it's not like, oh, this one guy did it or this one gal did it. I can't know. Guys, thousands of people. And I would be close. I can't know the exact amount, but like all I know is the hundreds of people that send me DMs every single month. Like I get 2 or 3 a day getting said, thanks, Zach. Thanks, Zach. Thanks, Zach. And, you know, a lot of them say, you know, don't post there. They say not to post. I'm like, fine. But like the ones I do publicly post, I do want to talk about some of them just to show you that like, it's not even about the power of me. Because I would put, there's close to 10 to 15 million a month of people that learn from us, only us getting assignment fees every single month. And it's insane. And so the amount of people making, here's the coolest part of why we give it out for free. I just want to let everyone before I get into it is because this is going to be a shocker revelation. I do not make $15 million a month. I'm sorry. I'm working on it, but I'm not at 15 mil a month. You know, this is a shocker. I know you're going to unsubscribe and not like the video anymore, that I am not making 150 mil a year in wholesaling. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But here's the cool part. I can teach people to do that. And that creates more of an economic impact on the community than anything else.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're getting there. Trust me. I want to get $100 million a year in wholesaling. That's great. But I can easily teach people to get to that point. And so this is why I do what we do, because it creates a great impact. Show me, okay, straight up, show me another wholesaling coach that produces the amount of results to the students that we do on a volume basis. Wholesaling real estate assignment checks from learning from us every single month. And if you add in how much money we make on top of that, it's over. It's the only person that probably makes more than us when it comes to real estate investing in general. I'd probably say Grant Cardone's. He claims to make, you know, $1 billion a year. I don't think we're at $1 billion and people learning from us yet, but we're working on it. Okay. And so guys, just think about that. Like think about the following we have currently right now. And think about when we are able to double it, triple it, 5X it. Guys, we're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars every single month for the people for free. Cost no money at all. So that's why we do what we do. I hope you understand. There's no $10,000 coaching pitch at the end of this thing. We're here to teach you wholesaling real estate for free. So let's get into it. Let's just show it so you guys can learn and get ready for it. So without further ado, guys, y'all already know the drill. Before we break down that, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, make sure you hit the notification icon so you don't miss a live stream that we got. And most importantly, comment all your questions, network in the comments, and we can help you become the best wholesaler possible. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's get it. It's wholesaling time, baby.
Let's do it.
Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Let's get it, guys. Let's break it down. Let's get into it, and let's break this all down. I think Rick's getting some water real quick, but let's get into it. Let's share it, and let's just break down exactly what's going on. So, guys, I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I'm not here to make anything crazy. On the bottom, you see freewholesaling.com. I want to break down some of these checks, some of these deals. I got sent in probably another quick $40,000 today. People are just posting checks. We didn't include on air, but let's just do a quick case study of some people only literally posting on here, just publicly saying that we can show this, right? Because we don't want people giving away their title company, anything like that. So let's get into it and let's share it. So right here, number one, we got Taylor. Come on, Taylor made $12,500. Guys, you see this. This is real. I want you guys to understand that it's insane. Just in Plano, Texas. And Taylor, that's not the Luca guy. That's another deal in Plano. I know what's up in Plano. We're getting a lot of deals here. But guys, $12,500. Think about that for a second, guys. Think about that, okay? $12,500 straight up, literally from learning wholesaling real estate from us for free. Guys, you can't beat this stuff. This is the stuff that works. I'm telling you. All right. So next here, we want to give a shout out to Daniel. Daniel out here, pretty interesting story. You know, I'm a hard guy to reach out to, but when Daniel posted this, it was insane. You'll see him on the Facebook group talking about it, but he was a house flipper, 23 years old. Okay. A 23-year-old house flipper. All right. And as a 23-year-old house flipper, he figured out doing BRRRRs and Airbnbs and all this stuff that he was not very cash heavy. And that was definitely a problem for him. And so what he started doing was he actually started wholesaling houses. This is a shocker for most people. But what he started doing is like, all right, let me try this wholesaling thing out. And he was just finding properties and doing all this stuff. But guess what he did at the end of that? He started wholesaling. And he did 4 deals. He literally went to freewholesaling.com to learn it. And he got his deal. And we're actually, we're having a podcast close to 40K in, I think, 3 or 4 months. I mean, he's just starting out, right? Like he's getting the ball rolling and he's going to do insane. So just think about that for a second. All right. 4 deals right now, 23 years old, just starting out the game. He already had a good base, but freewholesaling.com did it. I'm telling you, that was powerful stuff right there. All right. And next here we got, this was Desmond. So Desmond right here, I want to give a shout out to Desmond. Made $5,000 right there. Mobile, Alabama, title company. Insane, guys. What I could tell you, Mobile, Alabama, I already said it's one of the top markets. It's an amazing market right now. So shout out to Mobile, Alabama. But yeah, Desmond out there doing insane stuff. So shout out to him right there. Next check here, guys. We can add these checks up all single day, but I can tell you this stuff works. I want to give a shout out here to, this was Jason. Jason got, let me share the HUD right here. All right. Jason legit made 10,100. So let me give you a question. Let me just make sure you can see the HUD right here. So you can legit see $10,100. That's right. He made $10,100. Guys, look at the HUD right there. This is legit. This isn't fake stuff that doesn't work or anything. Like $10,000 first deal. Look at the HUDs here. This business is legit. People say I don't teach wholesaling for free or it's not legit or any of this stuff. But what I could tell you is straight up $10,100 learning for free. And we can go through the HUD statement right here, but HUDs or it didn't happen. It's always what I say. But you got the legal group here. You see all this stuff in Morgan County. Simon fee to Jason White. For all the people who say wholesaling is illegal and all this stupid stuff, look at that, $10,100. And tell you guys, this stuff is legit. This business works. And if you're not wholesaling, I don't know what you're doing. Next here, I want to give a shout out here. This, I believe, let me think here. This was Jared. Yeah, so this was Jared from Texas. $29,263.55. All right, guys. I want you to know, teaching these people absolutely for free. This guy, freewholesaling.com, a lot in the Facebook group, and started getting after it. I want to give another shout out to Rico. Rico's been posting a lot of checks lately, so not his first deal, but $30,000 on a wholesaling deal. Come on. Can't beat that. $30,000. I don't know how you beat that stuff, but if you're going out here and make quick 30K, this is it. And I know it's getting annoying, me showing all these checks and checks and checks. It's true. Angie. So I want to give a shout out to Angie L. Angie L right here. Oh. So Angie L right here. Angie L here made $27,271. So Rick came in, so we're dog sitting today again. But $27,271. So Angie out here, Angie L. So shout out to Angie here. That's the 7th check here. $27,000. Think about that for a second. $27,000. So shout out to the ladies out here. I'm telling you, this isn't little $5,000 deals, $4,000 deals. This is the stuff that legit works. So $27,000 from Angie. And next check here, we got Liam. Liam made $9,200 in just his first 2 weeks in wholesaling houses. That's right. Angie, I know that was Liam. Liam legit came out here, made $9,200. Legit. learning absolutely for free wholesaling houses. So I'm telling you guys, if this business, if you don't believe in it, you don't think it's legit, it's not working, this stuff's real. So I want to give a shout out here. You missed a little bit here.
Sorry about that.
We got some stuff here, but $9,200, guys. I don't know how you can beat that. I'm telling you, 2 weeks. And so I know everyone gives this stuff like, oh, Zach makes all these videos, how to get your first deal in 2 weeks, and that's unrealistic. I'm like, come on. $9,200 in 2 weeks is extremely realistic, right?
Definitely. I mean, you got to take the action. Talking about it's not going to get you a deal. You got to actually take the steps to move forward.
I'm telling you, it worked. 2 weeks. If you're going to get a deal in 2 weeks, legit, all I'm going to tell you is just go out here and focus on 1 to 2 really big things, right? And we've kind of been developing a thing lately with like teaching people, but it's like, we call it kind of the 1,000 leads rule.
Yeah.
And just focus on getting 1,000 high quality leads and just market to it. I always get, oh, but this list is too hard, or this is too difficult, or I can't do this, or this is too much work, and all. What do these people all? We got more checks to show, but I'm just saying, it's like I know you get numb to it after a while, but like you'll get a deal in 2 weeks. 1,000 leads. Just focus on that. Government leads, code violations, probates, heck, even the vacant property list, right? The liens. Just get 1,000 and then market to that 1,000, right?
Yeah. My dream a long time ago was to stop showing my checks, and I started showing his checks, and we got to the point where we just want to show outside of us that what we teach actually works. And the word teach is very, the word teach, coach, I hear all this stuff. So I heard an argument the other day: instruction, teach, and coach. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, you're responsible for the action. I've had some of the worst coaches in the world in sports, and we still did really well. And I had some of the best coaches, and the team just didn't perform. And it all comes down to you actually have to go out there and apply it and go through the steps. Not only do you have to practice it, but game time, when you're coming and closing down on a deal, you actually have to execute. So as good as the instruction, teaching, coaching, we can argue that till you turn blue, at the end of the day, the success ratio always depends on your ability to take action. And a lot of people misconstrue that, like, I got bad information, I didn't get enough, I got too much. At the end of the day, it's always up to you. I had some of the most worst, piss poor instruction ever in wholesaling, and I still did really well.
Yeah.
Here's the only difference is I just did it. And I noticed everyone else talked about it. I just did it. And I'm telling you, that's the big secret that a guru and a coach isn't going to share with you. You and only you are really responsible for success. Even if you get bad information, you have enough abilities today with technology and everything to get the correct information. The action's always going to be on you.
Exactly. So let's go here. Let's get another one here. We got, this is Jonathan. He made 20K on it. I got to get the HUD on this one, but he said 20K from negative 500. Just wanted to give him a shout out on that one. Follow up with Mojo. Shout out to him. Next here after Jonathan, we had Ian out here, $10,700. Wow. Wire fee.
Yeah.
Learning for free, right? It works, guys. Next here, we got Jamarius, Greenville, South Carolina. Look at the law firm. All right. So I want to give everyone, like, this isn't a foo-foo firm.
Look at the date on there, too.
This isn't a fake one.
Month.
Oh, yeah, the past 30 days.
Yeah.
So
it's endless.
Everyone from the past 30 days we're showing.
Yeah.
Well, not everyone. The people that publicly want to talk about it. But Jamarius, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but Greenville, South Carolina, 15 grand. Why do you think we mentioned Greenville? People out here absolutely starting out, 15 grand. Guys, this stuff's working. It'll go on and on forever. This is Blair, 3 grand. Keith, $25,000.
Wow.
And that was in West Virginia. Middle of nowhere, basically, right? Oh, this is nowhere. Yeah. Come on. Keith made 25 grand. And so for all the people saying, oh, you got to be in a big market or this fat market. I like more people in a market, obviously, but it's not stopping you from being successful, guys. And
I've seen people do it in tiny little towns. If you just go out and do the work, guys, like people are like, oh, why can't I do that? I go, I'm just telling you, if you take inventory of what you're doing every day, if you be honest with yourself, you got to take the action some of these people take. Some got it easier. Some was much harder than others. The story behind them is amazing. And we try to spotlight the stories, but there's like only so many people we can bring on.
Exactly. And then we got another one. Sonia was really cool. I'm going to give a shout out to Sonia right here because Sonia is able to, she's working on quitting her job right now because she got this $10,800 check in Nashville, Tennessee.
Love it.
Insane, right? And so I always tell you guys, it's not about how much, hours you put into it. It's about the job. And yeah, guys, you might have a full-time job like Sonia right there. You might have to deal with kids. You might have to deal with all this crazy stuff.
I did.
But here's the thing. It doesn't matter. You get paid by the job.
Yeah.
The job does not care how many kids you have or how much work you have or how tired or stressed you are.
Or the effort.
It cares about the effort.
It does, but you got to put it in. So it's so the reality is a lot of people they tend to exaggerate. Oh, I've called everybody. I'm like, well, what's everybody? Start breaking down your vocabulary because the word try, but I called everybody. I heard all excuses. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, if you said you called everybody, I better see 100,000 phone calls. Like, that's not even everybody.
I can't. It's hard.
Like, here's the reality. Some people get a deal in 500 calls. Some it's 10, 15,000. And a big part of it is your learning curve, your enthusiasm, and the effort you put into it. And you learn from your mistakes. And I'm a little bit slower learning my mistakes, but that's maybe why it took the 33 to switch. But
I'm telling you, it's just so I want everyone watching this just to really understand. And so like these people we're talking about, they're not extra special people. So they're not super, they're all pretty much smarter than me. It's not about how smart you are. It's just about taking that action. And I know it's cliche. I remember when I'm young, it's just so stupid. I was really, say this when I was young, 18, 19. When I was 18 or 19, I had this mindset because everyone, your network is your net worth. I was like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Well, the legit stupidest thing. But here's the thing, though. I thought that was the stupidest thing back then. And it was actually true back then because me networking more would have not brought me from 2 to 3. I had to put in the hours. I had to put in the blood, sweat, and tears for it. Now at the point where I'm at now, I'm making millions of dollars. Now when I have a good network, I can actually start JVing and actually getting going from, millions to tens of millions every single month. See, that's the thing that's going to lead me there with the connections. Starting out, talking about the connections. And so I know everyone's about that connections, all the stuff. If you need to make 100K, focus on that first.
Yeah. You're
going to be a terrible person to network with if you're not making a lot of money. Two turds networking isn't going to, two dull blades isn't going to sharpen each other. Two sharp blades will sharpen each other. And that's kind of the point. Guys, sometimes you're a dull blade. You got to get sharp and then find another sharp blade. Two dull blades going at it ain't going to do much.
That's why we teach you here, especially for freewholesaling.com, to get your first deal and then push you to your first 100 grand. Why? Because you don't know much and you're going to go through a journey. And so many people you got to network because you're not in the beginning. You are your net worth. Like, I want to network people that show me they're going to put their butt on the line and actually do what they say and actually profit from it. And then now you have value to everybody around you. In the beginning, people tell you your network's your network. The reality is your network is another payday to another coach to network off others because you're better off networking after you make your first 100 grand because you really don't have the skill sets to provide. So the only way you're going to do it, you're going to have to pay to get in your network. And if you pay for networking, it's really just back-end coaching, in my opinion. So get to that first 100K and then spread your wings because that's how you do some damage networking. Exactly.
That's going to be the best networking you can possibly can be. Also, guys, you network in the comments, everything like that. But what I could tell you guys is just focus on taking that action. I tell everyone, just get 1,000 leads, focus on that, and get like them, right? That's honestly the point. They didn't do anything crazy special. They just put in the work and they got the results. So that's kind of our breakdown of those little deals. I just want to show people that's possible. That's kind of the point of today's video. That's kind of the point of showing this live stream. It's just this stuff's possible. You can do it all day, right? And we'll have Lucas 8 grand or whatever he made on that too. So I'm telling you, if you want to get your first deal, focus on the action you need to take and just keep going every single day till you get that point. So what we're going to do is leave some time to talk to the people and answer some questions, do some one-on-ones, and
definitely
help you become the best wholesaler possible. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's answer some questions. First question, this is a thing we kind of talked about last week pretty extensively. So watch last Thursday's live stream if you want to see it. But fears holding back from cold calling. Any tips? We've talked about this forever. If you have a fear of cold calling, You just got to do it. Get out there and do it. I have a fear of skydiving. Start skydiving 10, 15 times. You're not going to be as fearful anymore. So I'm not going to go another 40-minute rant about your fear of cold calling. Until your fear of being broke is greater than your fear of cold calling, you're never going to get anywhere in life.
Yeah. And then what's the worst going to happen when you cold calls? They're going to reject you. If honestly, you got to work on your mind game, and that's okay. At least they're being truthful and honest. And you just got to work on your mind game, because the worst can do is hang up on you or tell you no. Like, that's it. So if you're fear of risking your time and all that stuff, there's no guarantees. You just got to go out there and do it. It's the only difference between people who actually make it and the people that talk about the fear. So, but it is natural, and it's just because you're conditioned to society. Like, everything's supposed to be perfect in school. I'm supposed to get the best grades. The smartest people do the best. No, they don't. I'm like here to tell you, smart helps, but the people that actually implement and execute the plan are the ones who make the most money. Then they hire the smartest people to pay them a small percentage of the entire gross receipts of the business. That's how the world works. And if you understand that, stop playing small and going in that if you make that choice. Because wholesaling, to me, I'm biased, but it's the way to escape the matrix.
Exactly. And, Mara is like, is this real? Bro, here's the thing. Call up the title company that I showed on the checks. Call up the lawyer and ask them, are you a real lawyer? Are you guys? You could look up their bar thing. And then I fraudulently faked a law and title company and fraudulently put people's names on it to flex to sell you a course. Guys.
And look me up. I've been doing this. I'm on my 21st year.
It's not you. It's the checks.
Yeah.
At this point, it's not about how much we're making at this point. It's how much we're helping other people make. And at this point, no one's even close to us on this. And so call up look, for anyone that doesn't believe it, what we got? Blueprint Title. Call them up. Nashville, Tennessee. We got Frankovich, Annikit, Simon, DeCapo, and Pearl.
Imagine if we named wholesale companies
LLP,
like that.
Look it up. Go to the person's address and see, is this legit? Do it. First Horizon, Welch Law Firm.
At least he's asking questions, so I give him credit. Everybody else rolls over
on
on every other guru's thing going, is this real? The course is real.
The course is, we got Crane Title.
The question is the outcome real?
Here's the thing. Go check it out. I tell everyone, go check it out. Here's a good question. My biggest barrier to thinking I need a huge discount no matter what on every deal. If someone's asking $200K and the ARV is $350, I don't need to get a big discount. Here's the thing in wholesaling. I don't know snot. I don't know anything. Let me tell you, when I go into a deal, I am smart enough to know that I know nothing. And the better wholesaler you become, you realize very quickly you actually don't know anything. You're good at guessing, but you're never, that you're not perfect. The only wholesalers that think they know perfectly how much a thing's going to sell for are the idiot wholesalers. You know why? Because I have deals to this day. Okay, we had a $38,000 JV deal in the mail. We just got sent it. I think on the Podia we were projecting to make 10, 15. And we sent it to some cash buyers. I think they were at like 10 grand to make it. And then the cash buyer's like, oh, pay 38. It's like, if I was a genius, it's 10, but really it was 38. And I didn't know until I just asked, how much are you? Guys, your wholesaling deal is not worth anything unless someone else is willing to buy it. You might think it's worth something. It's worth something to you, but you're not willing to buy it, right? It's only what someone else is willing to pay for it. And the always big example I always say is like, all right, let's use another one. We love Def Leppard, right? A signed Def Leppard. Who's the Def Leppard drummer with one arm? Or is that Van Halen? I forgot his name.
You got to go to your mother on that.
He's pretty cool.
Def Leppard.
He's cool, right? Like he's amazing talent, right?
Yeah.
One arm. If he signed a Def Leppard album from the 80s, a Def Leppard fan would probably pay $100 for it. Let's talk about my sister. Actually, she likes Def Leppard. I go to the average TikTok kid that's like 15 years old.
You know who Def Leppard is?
I love Def.
Okay.
You blast in the car all the time as a kid. All right. So if I go to a 15-year-old kid that only does TikTok and they have a 5-second attention span, they don't know who Def Leppard is.
Yeah.
How much are they willing to buy that for?
Nothing.
They'll give me $1 for it, maybe. Right? but I thought it was worth 100. It's worth $1 to that buyer. It's worth 100 for this buyer. So now I know it's in between this and this. So the thing you got to understand is what your deal is worth is what someone's willing to pay for it. And a lot of people think that it's exactly worth this amount. It's not.
Never is.
It's hilarious because like, Pawn Stars, it's like when they get the expert and the expert says it's worth 100.
Yeah.
Hey, expert, are you going to pay 100 for it? No, I've never pay 100 for this thing. And they
and
buy
you notice how that influences the seller's decision?
Yeah.
So it's worth 100. He said, give me $10 for it. Now he says it's 100. Now he wants 110. That's how real estate goes, by the way. If a realtor tells you it's worth 250, then they want 300. And so it's like a big game. So all you got to do is find people that will take a decent discount, a healthy discount, and move forward, because you never know. And if you want an exact number, you got to become a realtor, because they spend hours, if not days, weeks trying to come up with a perfect number.
Are not buyers.
And then what do? They overprice it.
Always overprice
to play the game. And then we're known as wholesalers, we underprice it. So that's why we teach you the little known trick, go for no. It just saves you a lot of time and energy, because most of you guys are chasing people on retail values. Some of your FSBOs buyers, when they list it for 200 and you get it under contract for 100, you think you hit it out of the park, and you find out it's worth 70.
Yeah.
Because you just fell into the ultimate buyer's trap. So you've got to just, ARV's a quick glance. This is roughly what it's worth. And then you use that as kind of a snuff test if they're motivated or not. That's it. You cannot let the end seller or the realtor set the ARV, because they know they're going to hit down, and that's how they play the game in real estate.
And let me share this too. Realtors will overprice it because they know what it's worth, and they'll put it for above that to see if someone's going to bite or get below that, right?
Yeah.
They just squeeze the most out of the deal. Pretty smart. The thing about wholesaling is like getting the deal. I hate to say this, but your seller does not care what your ARV formula is. Your seller does not care what the repair costs are. Your seller does not care about any of that stuff.
I don't.
Your seller only cares about one thing, and that's what they should care about. How much you're going to offer me for my house for cash. Either I'm okay with it or I'm not. Yeah. The seller already has a price in their head. Our job is not to convince somebody to go down in price. Now, there's some deals where I do that, obviously. But now I was breaking down, I had an hour-and-a-half appointment recorded a while back for training and acquisitions manager, and we went break it. On that appointment, it was a full hour and a half. No, an hour, 46 minutes. Start to finish with a pour and all that stuff. I got a $60,000 deal. I legit, okay, this is the funniest thing. I had to, on this appointment, convince the seller that they had to go down in price. And I got them down, I think, 50 grand on price. You know why?
Why?
Because they thought the house was worth, I think, 250 because the neighbor's house sold for 250, and that's how they based it. So now that I know they sit on a throne of lies and their foundation sucks, all I have to do is just take one card off of it, and it falls down there back on my price.
You just used a Will Ferrell quote.
Of course, I love Will Ferrell. But because he's sitting on his throne of lies. All I have to do is show him that his throne's stupid. Now, some sellers, they base on price because that's okay.
Yeah.
But he based his price off of what the neighbor sold for. Yeah. And I explained, okay, Mr. Seller, let's break this down. Let's compare your house and this house. Sure, tells me I want 250 for this thing. I'm like, this thing's worth 200-ish, right? So guess what I do? This is all I do. I say, okay, what's the neighbor's house? Let's look it up online together. Okay, we pop it up. This house is 2,000 square feet. What's your square footage? 1,200. Okay, that's different, right? Yeah. Oh, I'm acting stupid. Like, you know, let me give you 250. Let's just make sure they're both the same. Literally have this recording. Like, okay. Okay, do you see how there's 800 less square feet? Oh, I didn't know that. It sold for 250. That's what. Okay. This is a brand new metal roof. You have a shingle roof that's 20 years old that's leaking. Huh. Okay. This has a pool. Do you have a pool? No. How much would it cost for me to put in a pool? And I'm like, okay, it'll cost me this. And I literally I just go down the line and bring the guy down in price.
Yeah. I mean,
and here's the thing. He wouldn't, if I told him this stuff, he wouldn't believe me. I actually had to physically show him.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, those are cases where I have to actually convince the seller to go down in price. And I'm not convincing him off anything. I just show him facts.
Yeah.
And some sellers have wrong facts. So I just present the facts to them. And then that brought them down on price. I'm not convincing them. I'm not that type of person. But when someone's that high in price, they got to understand. And so he was actually wanting to sell for what, like, I think $140 a square foot. That's what he actually wanted to sell it for. He just thought his square foot was, he thought his square feet was 2,000. I'll tell you this, you could probably do it. I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. I can't walk into a house and within 15 seconds and figure out the square footage in my head. I'm like, I'm stupid. I got to like,
I'm pretty good about that.
You're pretty good about it. I'm like, but a 1,400 square foot house and a 2,000, I can kind of tell, but I'm not exact on it. I have to look up the numbers. I to this day, I'm that much of an idiot with that kind of stuff. But I have the facts, so I have to realize it. And so most sellers, it's crazy. So what I want you to understand is we're not here to convince someone. Maybe you do it on that end. But the thing is, 90% of my wholesaling deals, I lock it up for the lowest I can. And then from there, I give a high price, just roughly like a realtor, to a cash buyer and see what they're at.
Yeah.
And guess what? If the realtor says no to me, this is the one thing wholesalers do wrong. I said to the realtor, why? I asked him, why did he say no? No wholesaler does this anymore.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart. Ask your cash buyer, why didn't you want to buy it for? Most wholesalers are like, oh, he's just an idiot. He's going to buy this great deal. No, ask them why they're not buying that deal. There's a reason. Cash buyers are smart people. They buy it to either rent it out, money, or they flip it for a profit, money. It's all about money with them. It's not because they're not buying it for sentimental value. And so you ask them why, they'll give you a money reason.
Yeah.
Most of the time, number one, it's just too much work for me, which is a money thing and a time thing, or you just have the deal locked up for too high. And when 2 cash buyers tell me that, I don't care. But when 5 tell me that, I know something's up. It's kind of like, this is kind of a funny example, but like, do you guys ever have a crazy friend? Like a legit crazy friend. I have some crazy friends right here. And it's like, they think they're normal, right? And when someone calls them crazy, they're like, how dare you call me crazy? But when 5 people call them crazy,
yeah,
it's like, oh, I guess I might be crazy. And so that's the thing about cash buyers. I'm not crazy on my price if one person says I'm overpriced or 2. But when 5 or 6 say I'm overpriced, I got to start looking at the mirror now, right?
You just got to look at the data. Like, you can't take it personally. You just kind of move on. And guys, I see a lot of people comment, I'm working with a realtor and stuff. A conversation with a realtor is completely different with a motivated seller. There's only one angle to go at a realtor to get rid of a problem of like a stale listing they have and get them their commissions. If you just focus on those 2 things, but you got to be a legit buyer and you can't do the normal things you do on off-market properties. So I see a lot of comments just telling you, you have to go after the commissions, get them paid, and you got to end their pain on the listing. If you can do that, you got a shot at it, but you have to have usually some sort of funding source.
So yeah, guys, don't be overcomplicating the ARV repair. And the last thing I want to talk about is your cash buyers. Here's the thing: when you come up with your formula for your MAO, it's stupid. Because just lock it up for the lowest you can and then see what a cash buyer can. Of course, you want to be in a range. I'm always at a range. But the thing is, you can't be, if you put that time into actually trying to build a rapport with the seller, it'd be way better.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing is, I get all these wholesalers that are like, I calculated the repair cost at this, and I did this, and I did my comps at this, and you spent 45 minutes doing it. Here's the thing. Your cash buyer doesn't care what your ARV is. They don't care what your MAO is. They don't care about the repair costs because they do it all themselves.
Yeah.
And their formula is completely different than yours. And so that is the thing. And so because they're doing it differently, just lock it up for the lowest price you can. That's where you want to put most of your focus on. And once you put your focus on that, not getting the MAO, but the LAO. So we've coined this when we've talked about forever. Stop focusing on the MAO, focus on the LAO, the least allowable offer, because
where are you going to go from when the MAO if they say no?
So here's the thing.
You're done.
When you get your real estate deal and you're trying to make, if I'm trying to make $50,000 on a wholesaling deal, and I locked it up for, let's say, 150 grand, and I want to sell it for 200. What's an easier way to make that 50 grand? By convincing a cash buyer to go up on their price and trying to show them data and show them why they're stupid and wrong. Real estate's got a lot of ego. You know, people like to be right. Or why don't I just lock up the deal for $20,000 less? So if a cash buyer wants to pay me 30 grand on a deal for the assignment, what's easier? getting the seller down by 20 grand by building more rapport, or by trying to tell the cash buyer he needs to go up 20 grand and try to convince him? You're right.
You know the answer to it.
So focus on the LAO. Guys, go to freewholesaling.com. It's all there. I will let you know, nobody else in the wholesaling industry talks about this stuff.
And the last tip, guys, is on your cash buyer, especially if you're new, you get all excited, you get your first cash buyer, you think you got a great deal, and he or she just trashes you. It's a piece of junk. It'll never work, blah, blah, blah. Please don't take one cash buyer and let them destroy your entire business.
No.
A lot of them have their own agenda and they just think they're beating you down and they know you're inexperienced. Now, if 5 or 6 say it, heed the warning, but never I've had one person completely trash me. I go, oh my God, what am I going to do? This is bad. And then I called 2 or 3 other and I had it sold quickly, and only to find out that person was just trying to knock me down $50K. So
let me give you one example. So we have a deal right now. We bought it for, I think, $205. We bought it for $205 and we put 15 grand into it. And we're selling it under contract for $288 or something like that.
285.
Yeah. So it's a good flip. I'm trying to get rough numbers, not trying to get the exact numbers, but like it's a good amount. Okay, we're gonna make what, 60, 70? Like it ain't a bad amount on a flip, right? Like, hey. We don't talk about all the flips we do. We don't talk about all the deals we do, but this is a good flip for us. Okay. We had one person, because we list on the market, one realtor offered it to buy it for $220. 220. Guess what? We sold it. We had we have it on the contract for $280, $285 or something like that. So one realtor thinks it's worth $220. If I followed their advice, I'd sell it for $220 and just get. But you know what? I said, you know what? Let's see what other people are willing to do for it. And I was like, you talked to me. I said, I think this thing will tell for $255, $260.
So we run a wager on anything we put on the market. We're not talking about regular assignments because you have to. And like we have a running bet on all that stuff. Yeah. And it's funny because we're rarely ever right. Sometimes it's lower, but a lot of the times it's higher.
That's why I say we're an idiot, because we don't know.
Yeah. And it's like, so the thing is, when you're new and you get like one data point, you're like, oh my God, this person knows more than me. No, you're on target. Remember, you have something they desperately need. And most realtors and cash buyers, they have their own agenda. So just make sure you get multiple data sources before you change your pricing and everything. Yeah. Because I got to tell you, when I first started, it rattled me. It rattled me so much to the point I did more JVs than most people because I didn't want to deal with the cash buyers and I gave away a lot of money. So if you get one that trashes you, just toughen your skin up a little bit. If 6 trash you, heed the warning. If 1 trashes you and the other one's like, oh my God, I can't believe you're offering me at that price, then understand, do not let one person define your business plan. You've put in the hard work. You have something they need. You only need one. You don't need consensus of everybody, but go past one. So many guys go, I reached out to one cash buyer. I'm like, usually, and by the way, usually the first cash buyer is the one that beats you up the most. I don't know why it is, but it's just the truth.
And so just understand that what your deal is worth is what someone else is willing to pay. Sorry for a little rant there, but I'm just telling you, that's how it is. So let's do one more question and get into the one-on-ones here. Let's see here. I have a buy and hold investor who has 9 properties he would like to offload. What's the most efficient way to proceed with wholesaling these properties?
That's easy. So many of you guys want to do these massive spreadsheets and calculate ARVs and find out rent rolls. Simplify it. Reggie, in my experience, most of these are very seasoned landlords. And I'm gonna let you know, they know exactly what they want. And I promise you, they got some pigs mixed in there, some really ugly, nasty properties. So here's the best way to attack it. Instead of spending weeks, if not days, doing research, tell them to give you your most tired week vacant property and see if you can even strike a deal on one. That will save you. If he strikes a deal on one, you have a great shot of just picking down the portfolio. But if they're completely unrealistic, it will save you a ton of time. Most people that own 4 or more properties, I'm just statistically telling you, they're difficult with wholesalers. It's just the truth. They want a big, giant number. And how they do this is they're like, okay, give me $1 million for all of them. And like, then you try to calculate all this crap, find the most tired week property, figure out your ARV, ask what he wants for it, and just do a go for no and just see where you lie. Every now and then you do get a tired landlord but if you own 9 properties, they theoretically, they probably know what they're doing. You don't own 9 properties not knowing what you're doing. Most people give up after 2 or 3 properties if they don't know what they're doing. That's why 4 or less has always been the sweet spot. 9, they act like this innocent, tired landlord. And when it gets down to it, they're sharks when they go to sell their property. So use that method. Give me your tired, weak, vacant one and see if you can make a number. And if he won't negotiate on that one, how do you expect to get a deal on the other 8?
Exactly. So one thing too on top of that too is why you ask for the weakest, most annoying properties, because that's when they're most emotionally just sick of.
Yeah.
And when someone's emotionally just sick of something, they're willing to just get rid of it.
It should have the highest motivation. And so like, if you can't extrapolate it out of one, so it's easier to look at one. When they go, oh, give me $1 million for all of it, you're like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And the problem is, they usually go, if you give me this number, I'll walk away from them. And it's a big, giant number. And people own 2 or 3 properties. They're my absolute favorite because they got into it, didn't know what they were doing. And they've got bad tenants, bad property. And they're like, I just want to get out, Rick. They're my favorite. Once they get 4 or more, the tables shift. They're like, what are you willing to do? And like so I spend a lot of times with people with 40, 50 properties and we never got anywhere with them. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm just telling you as a newbie, understand when you have this issue like Reggie does, and I appreciate bringing them up, just give me your tired and weak, take a shot at it. And if they won't negotiate on that one, why do you think they're going to negotiate on the entire portfolio?
That's exactly right. All right. Let's do some one-on-ones here. So let's see. First person we got Jason. Jason, what's up? What question you got? How can I help you out?
Hey, good evening, guys. So my question is, I'm having a bit of issues tackling probates, especially here in West Palm. So, I'm here online looking at our county's website and official records, and I'm seeing a petitioner, and then I'm just having issues finding that person. I don't have I'm using True People Search right now, so that's how I'm tackling it. Do you guys have any general directions on how to tackle the probates here in West Palm? Should I first reach out to a lawyer, like a probate lawyer?
You never want to reach out to the lawyer. I'm just telling you, because you're going to get stonewalled. So the best way to do it is when you go down to the county courthouse. I recommend everybody does it. Or do it online once. You can do it online, but like if you have the docket, so it's 3,500 counties. So I'm being general because I have to, because everyone's is different. Is understanding who's on that docket: the petitioner, the deceased, the PR, the executor, and the heirs. You got to know where to locate which is what. The problem is every county is different. My county just up the road from you, completely different from the county you operate. Once you know to go where to look, then you can go on your hunt to find them. But if you're guessing, like a lot of times the petitioner is the PR or the executor, but it's not guaranteed. So reaching out to a lawyer is 100% a complete waste of your time because they're there to protect their client, not to give away private information. So what you really want to find out is who the PR is in the state of Florida. And then you skip trace that person because that's the person that has the authority to enter into an agreement with you. How you do that? My recommendation is start with the probate court in your county. If not, reach out to a title company. And then worst case scenario, if you have an affiliation with a lawyer through that title company that can help you answer it, that's the best way to go about it. But a lot of my answers, guys, a lot of my freshness probate is I'd go down to the county. I would just sit there for like an hour and I'd find like the nicest person to help me out. They weren't always nice to me, but I was always nice back to them. And eventually I got the answers that I needed because it's like a jigsaw puzzle and they have the answer key. A lawyer's brutally expensive. I don't suggest going that way with them. And then once you understand who you're looking for, then it's easy. Now, statistically, the petitioner a lot of times winds up being the PR, but like it's not always the case. And sometimes you spin your dead wheels. You can use that as a last resort, worst case scenario. Here's your worst case scenario, Jason. I want you to understand. Don't get caught in the weeds on probate. Get your marketing out and learn as you go. The worst case scenario is you find a deceased person, you cross-reference into the property appraiser's site to verify that the property address, and then you can mail to that property. A lot of times that's their last property they own, and you can put on there to the estate of Janice Doe. And I promise you, it will get in the PR's hands. It's just less informal. That's the worst case. I have counties where I had to do that, especially virtually, because we couldn't figure it out and nobody had helped us and I couldn't go there physically. So that's your worst case scenario. Like if you want to start now, to the estate of Janice Doe, John Doe, put it on there and then put in your letter and all your contact information and you can start. And then as you figure out who the petitioner is, who the PR is, who the executor is, who the heirs are, then you can chase the PR down, put their name on it and personally mail to them. And as a fail-safe, you can still mail to the deceased address because usually somebody's going by and checking on the mail at least once a week. Okay. And they get opened either way. So it's like sometimes it's a challenge. I get it. Some counties, it's hard to get this information. Like just think outside the box. Don't get completely stuck. So your best answers are always going to come from the probate court themselves because they wrote the dang procedure on how to do it. So, and then just work your way back, title company, then lawyer. If you start with a lawyer first, it's going to be brutally expensive. And they're going to point you to the probate court and the title company.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. It does. Also, Rick, your probate letter link in your course, I think it's broken because it just sends me right back to the beginning of the website.
Well, we're doing some updates on it, so
yeah, I'll go check it out.
We'll check it out and get that fixed. Or so many people have downloaded
honestly,
it
on the video. You can just copy the words on it.
It's now on the video too, so, yeah, so like we'll fix it.
Copy the letter on the video too. Just
okay,
word for word if you have to. Right now, we'll look into it.
The idea, guys, is always move forward and don't let someone freeze you completely. I've gotten probate deals just by mailing to the deceased person's address by doing the estate of John Doe. It's less effective, but it's better than nothing, in my opinion.
Okay. So I've actually been okay getting over the fear of calling list pendings or foreclosures, but I think I may be attacking it the wrong way. So I look at the dockets every day.
The link's working, dude, for the probate letter.
Oh,
I literally just got an email to myself right now.
Yeah, I looked at it. Try it again, or use like an incognito
browser.
Maybe it's the cookies.
Let me give you the link.
I started about cookies. I get hungry.
Okay, thank you.
Here's the link.
Here's the link.
Free probate letter.
Try it out.
It gets automatically emailed to you.
Thank you. So I'm sitting looking at every record that's updated every day. Would you guys even suggest that or recommend that?
You can drive yourself nuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once, if you're super aggressive, you can do it twice a week. It's just not enough information to warrant looking at it every day, unless you're hunting a specific property. That's a different story. I've done that before. Sometimes you find when driving for dollars, a neighbor goes, hey, so-and-so just passed away. And then you keep looking for the probate. But once again, just reaching out to the neighbors and skip tracing the person on there is really your best bet. But don't do it every day. You won't be able to sustain it.
1,000 leads. Focus on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you guys. I don't want to take up everyone else's time. So thank you very much. I'll be on next time.
Thanks, Jason.
Appreciate it. All right. Next we got Angela.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
What's up?
I am doing great. So I actually do have a question today. I think I made a rookie mistake, but maybe not. Like everything you're saying today is exactly what I'm going through on this deal. So I went for the no. And the ARV on this is 456. I offered 280. They counter offered. Then I went up a little bit and then they counter offered again. I got it under contract for 370. And the only reason that I went with 370 and said, okay, is because it has a new roof. It has a new HVAC. It has new paint, new flooring, new everything. And then my cash buyer that bought my first house, I sent it to him and he's like, he shot me down. I was like, maybe I got this through wrong. So I'm so glad that you guys are talking about what you're talking about today, because I am now way overthinking this going, oh my God, what did I get into? But I cold called. This would be a perfect rental for somebody. Obviously, it doesn't need to be fixed. Everything's already done. There's a little bit of fixing that could be done, but not.
That's every house.
Yeah. And so I cold called this morning. Well, I got this under contract 2 days ago. So I've been cold calling for the last 2 days. I got a hold of a guy that has 8 properties. So I'm assuming he knows what he's doing. And he's interested. He was headed into a meeting. He's told me to send everything to him. So we'll see what he says. But my question on this is, it's listed on Zillow. It does say it's pending now, obviously, because I have it under contract. But it's listed at $397, and I'm trying to. That's what my first guy said. Hey, it's listed at $397. I'm not going to give you $4 for it when, I could have paid less for it from them. So how do I've never done one that's on market, so maybe that's the issue, because it is an on-market house. But how do I get around the fact that they have it listed, even though it says pending, it shows $397
On the MLS?
Yeah, well, on like Zillow and Redfin and yes.
So this is an on-market property, just clarifying.
Yes.
With a realtor?
Yes.
Okay, and you have it locked up for what?
$370.
Was it always locked up with a real? Was this always on the MLS when you reached out to it?
Yes.
So you're telling me, I just want to make sure. What's the listing price?
They have it listed at $397.
$397, and you offered $370 on this property?
I offered $280 to begin with, and
Okay.
then we counter offered back and forth. And then the only reason in my brain, I'm still new at this, but the only reason in my brain that I was like, well, I could do $370 because it has a brand new roof, a brand new HVAC, brand new paint, flooring. They've done all the updates. So
what's the listing price one more time? I just want to.
$397.
Okay. This is the big thing. All right. So at freewholesaling.com, we have an MLS wholesaling course in there.
Yes.
And I made it for you. The first thing I tell about a course is, why do people go with cash sometimes when it comes to off market? Because they don't want to pay 6% with the realtor fee and with the title company. Now, roughly when it comes to real estate transactions, if I'm going to sell a house on the MLS, it's going to cost me 10 to 12% of the listing price to sell it, right?
Correct.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I can get a all cash offer for less than that and they pay for everything, that's a steal for me, right? You literally offered, let me minus that by
where did the 480 number come from? That's what's confusing me.
You offered the property, you got a 6.8% discount on the house. That's really bad.
Where's 480 come from, Lo?
Yeah, the 480, I don't see that.
That's the comps, the ARV.
Here's the thing. That's your ARV. There's only one comp that I care about the most. The free market. The free market has determined it's not worth that price. The free market has determined.
And guys, when a property's out on the market, especially MLS, FSBO, everything, if it was worth 480 and they put it at 399, it would be gone in
like that
in like 10 seconds. The free market is the ultimate dictator of value. So, Angela, this is very interesting because it's like somebody's got ESP here, because the first thing we talked about was what? Don't panic when you get your first cash buyer. Then we talked about multiple property discounts, which I already gave you and now earlier I talked about, before I talked to you about, when somebody puts a property on the market, don't let that be your final influence. And so the problem is, when it's on open market, how long was it on the market for total, Angela? Did you see how many days on market?
I can look it up. I didn't write that down. I think
look it up while we're talking.
Yeah, look it up real quick, because
the longer is the worse.
Yeah,
I can only guess. I mean, look, tell me what's the day on market. One thing I do want to tell you is, on our free wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com,
114 days.
Yeah. You know why? Do you know how many days a listing agreement's for? That was probably a 120-day listing agreement.
The realtor is motivated, but
money.
But here's the deal on that type of deal, Angel. We're here to help you out, not scold you. Okay.
Oh no, I know.
I reach for those type of deals when I know I got a cash buyer in my back hip and I'm basically minimizing all my risk, because if you got to throw the 480 out the window, because they probably dropped 399, probably wasn't their first listing price, right?
From what I can see, it is.
Okay.
Crazy seller.
So that, just to let you know, so when after a property's been on the market like 3 to 4 weeks and nobody makes an offer, it means something's wrong. Like that's just how the market works. And so I like to use the market and leverage people. I go, listen, you got a property, it's been on the market 100 days. You've done multiple price decrease. How bad do you guys want to get rid of this? And that's where I go after the realtor for motivation. The problem is the realtor is not motivated. Like they're just motivated to get the property sold. That is it. So you have to leverage them to get. This is why on market properties, they are difficult.
But Angela, let me just give you a simple rule here. You didn't follow the rule we had at freewholesaling.com. On the MLS wholesaling course, I include, as some of that wholesales on the MLS, not a ton, but 6 figures still every single year on MLS wholesaling. And as someone that just got, we just bought another place on the MLS, is for one of our portfolio things. We get discounts. We got off the original listing price. We got, I think, 150 grand off of it.
But we had to wait quite a bit.
I had to wait. I had to negotiate all this stuff. So let me tell you my rule. At freewholesaling.com, on the advanced topics, there's an MLS wholesaling course. The clear answer here is you cannot get a contract unless it's a 25% discount off of the price. So you have to multiply the listing price by 75%, and that is the most you can ever offer. There is something we call the FOMO, fear of missing out. Mm-hmm. It's called cash buyer FOMO, Zillow for sale by owners and MLS properties. When I go to a cash buyer, Angela, this is what your cash buyer said. He sees the property and he says, you got a 6.8% discount. Angela, I could do that. That's what they say to themselves. I can go up and just offer 6% discount.
She was right on her first intuition.
No, but here's the thing. The cash buyer paid you on that first deal because you brought such a good deal. The cash buyer is like, I couldn't even do that myself.
Yeah.
When you get a deal so good that the cash buyer can't even do it themselves, then they'll pay you the assignment fee. The secret number on the MLS I figured out was 25%. You're at 6.8. That's the honest truth. Yeah. The FOMO gets kicked in when it's 20%. The cash buyer feels like they can just offer it with a realtor themselves. But at 25% and below, they're like, ooh, that's a good deal. So that's why we had it at freewholesaling.com. That's why it's there. I don't do it for my health. I do it to show you the people that actually do deals on the MLS and people that don't. That's what it's at.
And you're never going to get past the listing price because the realtors, they can't take it down. They have rules they have to follow. And that's one of the real negatives. So you have to show a substantial discount below it because you got not only you got to pay the realtor game, you got to pay the psychological warfare with the cash buyer. So you're learning. We're just telling you the truth because if I was telling the course, I could BS you and go, don't worry, it's going to work out. It's a lie. I would either get out of the contract or try to renegotiate it because
I agree.
If you shot that 280, they go, oh, no. I'd say, well, listen, okay, well, best of luck. Let me know if anything changes. I'll keep an eye on it. And then you got to let the market do its work. And the market will do some of the work for you. And then it gives you leverage when you call them back for the property still sitting out there. They've reduced the price. So a lot of MLS guys, there's a huge waiting game.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. Like we'll list a property, wholesale or whatever, put it on the market like 250. And that day, I guarantee you, I get 5 contracts for like 180. Because somebody taught them a course. It's the exact same language in every contract. And they're just looking for an idiot. When you go to MLS, it's hard to find idiots. It's just the truth because it's only price sensitive. And so there's always a set amount, always make an offer the first day. You don't want to be that person. I'm just telling you, you got to just wait. So it's weighted. Let the market's doing the damage. The realtor has to communicate to that seller, go, listen, we're going to have to make a massive price change to make this even work and go from there. So many of us, I don't know where that 480 number came from, but obviously if it was even close to worth that, it would have already sold on the market for that price. So now that you know the end buyers go, it's not even worth $399. You've got I don't think you were far off. I don't know what the number is going to be. There's so many obstacles with MLS. I'm not saying you guys can't do it, but there's challenges. So me and Zach kind of came up with this rule on if you're going to fish for online on market properties, to use this rule, because the thing is, you got to reach out to a lot of people.
On top of that too, that rule is a minimum. Don't expect to get a deal unless you put 100 or 200 offers out there.
Yeah. It's a numbers game. So the numbers game is even more important on the market properties, because the emotional response is kind of removed with the realtor, and the realtor is there to not let the seller make an emotional decision. So I've met realtors that have held out 6 months for a seller that wants to sell it instantly. But remember, the realtor is supposed to be their counsel. They're supposed to do a fiduciary responsibility. And it's hard for us wholesalers to bypass that. That's why I'm not the biggest fan. So make sure you correct your course now, because I don't want you to get caught in a contract you can't fulfill.
Yeah, I have my walkaway date is April 2nd. So I have that highlighted on my calendar so that I know when to walk away if I can't get it sold. And I don't do MLS. I don't even look at MLS ones.
Yeah,
I listen to your videos, but I'm not gonna lie, I listened to those ones quickly because I wasn't gonna do MLS. And then this one here, I don't know.
So go back to that cash buyer and just say, listen, you know that property I talked about it? What's the best offer you can make on that? And use that kind of as your first data point to see where you're even like at.
I did do that, and he said, let me pull that up.
Remember, cash buyers, 325. That's actually pretty dang good.
Yeah,
325. Let's see what that discount is off of 397.
Well, I don't believe what every cash buyer says, but
yeah, but he was looking for about 18.1, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So 25 is actually generally okay. And remember, here's the thing on top of this. Here's the cool part. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
If you got it for 0.25 of it, so 0.75 of 397, you sold it for 325. That would net you 27 grand if you followed my rule.
Right.
And so that's
the challenge with all market properties. It's not going to go away, and you're always going to have to do it. The biggest challenge is I don't know how that 480 number came in there. You're going to kind of have to look at that, because I would look at like 3 comping services real quickly.
Yeah.
And come up with a number. And usually I throw the highest one out.
That's what I did. I used PropStream, and I took 3 houses that sold in the last 60 days in that neighborhood. And that's where I came up with the
free market.
The free market is going to be, so if a property sat on the market 90 days and it's $399, nobody made the offer, that the 480 is out the window. Like it's not even, it's somebody messed up. Now, a lot of times it's just the seller being cuckoo. Sometimes the realtor being crazy, and you put those two together, these things, this is why you see properties sit on the market for a year plus. And I avoid those people like the plague, because no matter what price, you struggle with them. So this is the downfall of all market, guys. And then even when you get a good price, if it's close to what somebody put on a FSBO, you're like, and then all your cash buyers look it up. You and me can't remove that. You can ask, but it usually makes your deal real squirrely because you make the seller uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I am using your mailer. I got my first call back from a mailer.
All right.
I've watched your course, Rick, with the mailers. I love it. I financially can't do it quite yet. I'm waiting for the next sale, and then I'm going to jump on it. So I used Zach's wording, and I do probates with the mailers. I got my first call. It was a no, but I got my first call, so I'm really excited about it. Somebody actually looked at what I mailed them.
And Angela, what's the secret to probates? What do I say?
I'm on the spot.
There's the big secret. I'm telling you, it's the number one thing. And if you figure this out, you'll do very well with them.
I don't remember.
Just keep doing it. It's not a quick hit, one hit wonder type of deal. It's if I can pick you up 1 or 2 extra deals a year that get 2 to 3 times the normal profit, and you don't go broke doing it, do it. Most people quit after 90 days because I didn't get the results I was promised. I'm like, there's no promise in probates. Just keep doing it. Because all your competitors will try it 30 days and they'll quit. And they'll quit. And everybody keeps quitting. And if you stay there the longest, eventually you get the call and they go, listen, I need to get rid of this house. Are you not going to beat me up about it? And then I teach you how to listen. and you listen to people's needs and you solve a problem, they're amazing deals when you get them. And they're excellent for people that are new to this business because you get a house that needs help, that's usually vacant, that has a flexible closing date. It's like the ultimate dream for a wholesaler. So
Right.
just be consistent and keep doing it. It's not sexy, but it works.
I will. I take your guys' word for gold. I just started the mailers 2 weeks ago, and my goal, and I've hit my goal. I mail out 10 every day. That's I have my schedule, like what you're saying, set a schedule for yourself, and then I do my cold calling, and I do I have just this week, today's what, Thursday, I have other than the one that I have under contract, I have 12 other offers out right now just
Wow.
this week.
I like it.
Yeah.
She's taking action.
Just keep doing it. You're learning, Angela, as you go. So you've learned a valuable lesson with on market, and you won't make that mistake again, but it's okay. It's just, I tell people, get a couple deals under your belt, do the off market thing. It is more work up front, but boy, when you get it, it's smooth. And if you do on market, it seems super easy. That's why people sell courses on it, and it's brutally hard on the back. So take it for a grain of salt.
These are all my notes on all of the ones I have offers on right now. So I'm super excited. I know it will work. I know I'm going to make mistakes, and that's why I'm on here with you to ask those questions. Fingers crossed I can still get this one done. I have a guy that buys and holds and rents. And so if I
would still ask for a discount regardless, because I think they're like, the reality is, think about this, 6% discount. The only thing they're saving with you is, well, they still got to pay a realtor anyways, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
So I'm telling you, follow the rules.
How do I go about that? This will be a new thing for me. So I just call the realtor and say, hey, by the way, I was an idiot, and I agreed to your offer, because I originally offered to 280.
Yeah.
Which was your guys's, the you
price.
take the ARV and then subtract. I
about right.
I just say, listen, I got to go back to like my original offer. I kind of ran the numbers, and that the fact that this thing's sitting on the market so long. So you got one or two strategies. This is difficult because you went from a low number and you jumped to a high number. So the psychological game's over. Like,
right.
You got one or two ways. You can just call up and do, where do I send the cancellation of contract, and be quiet and look for a counter response. Why you do that? Because you change the psychological warfare of it. If you go in and say, listen, I need a discount because of this, this, and this, it's going to be hard. Like, remember, you're not talking to the homeowner, you're talking to the realtor. So you're just, the person better than we do. If you do that, hey, where do I send the cancellation over? And if you hear the panic in the realtor's voice, that is your opportunity to ask for the discount. Yeah. But like saying, I need a discount right off the bat, like, wait a minute, we have a contract. It's like, it's a tough one. And that's when you go from 280 up to like 375, they think you can pay 375. So it's going to be a tough walk down. But what's the worst case scenario? You do that, or you just cancel the contract and move on. Just don't wait till the last day.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
You got it. You got it. You're learning. It's your journey. This is how you learn wholesaling. Like, everybody thinks you pull up to your driveway and there's a duplex sitting there. It doesn't work that way.
No. And I appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing.
Now, you just keep doing what you're doing. You just take a massive amount of action. And as long as you keep moving forward, you're going to have some setbacks. It's uncomfortable winding contracts, but the flip side is being held legally responsible for a contract, which I don't want you to do. For a property that's not even selling on MLS.
Sure.
Yeah.
You got it. Get it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, we got one more. We're good. Devin.
Devin's got the energy, man.
I know. What's up? How can I help you out?
What's going on, guys? I just wait. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I closed on a deal at the beginning of this month, and I just closed yesterday on another deal. And so I've got some more fun.
Deal, right?
This is my first deal of the year. This deal that I just closed today will be my 6th deal of my wholesaling career.
Wow.
So I'm trying to. This is my 2nd year getting into being in wholesaling, and so I watch y'all's videos on like 2nd year. Because like 2nd year, there's no excuse not to get 250. So I'm like, okay, I got to do that. So that is the goal. But I have more money for marketing, and initially I spent all my money last year. I was just stupid with it, but I want to do more with marketing. And so I've thought about doing bandit signs, but I was looking through the course and there was not much information on bandit signs. So I wanted to ask you guys, kind of just like with I have a budget of like $4,000 or $5,000. What would you guys recommend?
You're in college in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're in Texas again. What college?
East. I'm at LaTourneau University.
LaTourneau University?
Yeah, LaTourneau is a tiny school.
All right. You're making more than your professor, probably. All right. LaTourneau. All right. Let me look at LaTourneau real quick. LaTourneau University?
I'll put it in the chat. LETOU.
Click on the private there.
I think I spelled that right. I can barely spell it myself.
Yeah, I gotta know exactly where you're at.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, East, like Longview, Texas.
There it is, right there.
Okay.
He's got it. He sees it.
All right. So here's the thing with bandit signs, dude. They're super cheap, and between you and me, I think they're always worth testing it out.
Okay.
So,
But you won't go broke doing bandit signs. But some markets are super effective, and some of them are just terrible. And
your past deal, are they in this area?
Yeah. I only do deals
I know
local.
why.
I've actually been kind of skittish to do deals outside of like East Texas.
yeah,
How far are you from Shreveport?
I am an hour from Shreveport.
That's a really good market. You got Tyler right there. I'm not going to ask you because I don't want to. Oh my gosh, Texarkana's right there, dude. Texarkana is balling
South
right
Play,
now.
y'all. All right, bet.
Yeehaw! Holy cow, that's a good
Yeah.
market too. You're kind of like a trinity there of like where you're at. So I'm not going to pry on your information because I got too many people watching, too many thousands of people looking to pounce where you're doing deals. This is a really simple one. This is how I'm going to get you rich right now, bandit signs.
Give me a
Go back to your 6 deals that
Okay.
you did. Write the addresses down. Don't tell me where. And I want you to put 50 bandit signs in every area around those 6 deals. 50 on each area.
50.
50.
Well, what? Two. Oh, okay. All right, that's fine.
So 143 Main Avenue. Let's see you made a good amount of money there. How much money did you make on your last deal?
The last deal I made $8,000. No, I think 9 or 10.
Okay, 10 grand. You're gonna spend $100 on bandit signs to get 50 times $100. So let's see it's an avenue or whatever, 14th, 4th Avenue. Go around that area and put bandit signs in there. Now you have to think, okay, pretend like the neighbor is going to be your next $10,000 deal. Okay, think about the neighbor.
Okay.
You got to think like a motivated seller. Where's the closest good grocery store?
Yeah.
Drive to the grocery store or put a route on Google Maps where the grocery store is. What stop signs do I hit? Where's the big red lights? Think of all these places, right? Think of, for example, like, and this is crazy to think about. This is what I did. This is how I did good in bandit signs. What job did your that seller who you made 10 grand? You know what job they had?
Yeah.
What job?
She worked at like a metal plant.
Go do a Google Maps from that house to the metal plant and see all the intersections and highways and stop signs they had to do. You don't have to drive it, but you can just look and then put bandit signs in those areas. One last key important thing. At 5 o'clock today, at 5 o'clock, I want you to go to that address, not that address, pop it up on Google Maps and see where all the red and yellow traffic markers are. So when you see a red or orange, you're going to be like, that's where traffic's congested during rush hour. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to put bandit signs where all the red and oranges and yellows are.
Yeah. Because here's what people do is if they can't recognize the sign in 3 seconds, it's a waste. And number 2, most people just grab their phone and take a picture of it.
Okay.
The old school guys who used to write it down. So you got to be able to do that. So he's right with the grocery store, workplaces,
Bars,
Home Depot,
restaurants.
What was the other one?
Bars, liquor
and
stores.
Oh my, Walmart's
lotteries,
my favorite.
Walmart. Like, dude, I think he gets it, but I'm just telling you, man, that is what you have to do.
And here's the secret. You're talking about a guy who used to own a sign company, because I made more bandit signs than anybody in the state of Florida. And I'm here to tell you, it's expensive. If you have them professionally made and shipped to you, you would be shocked at the number. It comes to like $4 a sign with shipping and everything now. The costs are outrageous. So find someone that has 18 by 24 signs in your area, just blank white ones. You usually find some sort of wholesaler. Sometimes you got to pay them in cash. Worst case scenario, you can do Home Depot, but they're the most expensive. And then get that big black Sharpie marker. And then you're going to do 3 lines. The bottom line is going to be your phone number. You're going to do a virtual phone number. Yeah. And then you're going to have 2 lines. Don't write on both sides, because they've gotten so cheap making the sign, you can see through them on a sunny day. And then you're in the pop. Here's what I would put. My God, this would be a $5,000 course anywhere else. Sell your house today, any condition, any price, or any situation on the phone number. That's all you put on it. And just sit back and answer your phone live and test it out with 50 signs, and you'll know within $100 if you struck gold or not.
Okay. You said any say that one more time.
So the first one is sell your house today.
Yeah, right.
Any condition, any situation, or you can mix the signs up.
Oh, here's a good one. Sell your house fast, cash in 7 days, or sell your house in 14 days.
You got so I mix the signs up, and then the ones that I know that got the traction, then I go all in on the next print on them. Just play around with it, because sometimes people like what to hear from different people. Listen, the Sharpies, it's a pain in the butt, but when you get the bill, because the only way you get a discount on signs, you got to buy 500. So 500 times 4, you're going to spend $2,000. I'm telling you to do this within $100. You got to be smart as a wholesaler. You can't. All these gurus, coaches want you to go all in. Why? Because it's easy for them. I'm telling you how we did it. I sent him out with bandit signs because I got tired.
That's how he's doing it. And I made a lot of money with bandit signs. I tell you, that is how you do it. That's a lot of game right there. I can tell you. Do that. Just act like you're that seller on those 6 deals. I'm telling you, you're going to get the same sellers, because deals like to be pockets with each other. Some of that neighborhood's going to be next wholesaling deal.
Yeah.
So go do it, man.
Just one side, though. Don't do both. Because you can double your exposure. You can't, because you can't read through it, because the materials they use, which is a petroleum-based product, they gotten so thin you see right through it. So only print on one side, even though you're tempted to do both sides.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, should I only do bandit signs with the money that I have, or do you guys suggest I do other? Marketing strategies, or just stick with that for now?
Well, it's what you can tolerate. So it's not like you're doing your first deal. Mm-hmm. I like bandit signs because it really, once you get them made and put out, it's a sweet feeling, because it's not costing you a ton of money.
You got 6 deals. Keep doing what's working, and just add bandit signs to it. Don't stop what's working right now. Okay, that's the biggest problem people have. They do 6. They get 6 deals. They're doing what's working. They stop doing what's working to do something else that maybe not work.
I do this fishing all the time, man. I'm catching fish. I go, let's go find a bigger one. And we leave. We can't catch anything all day. I'm like, why did you leave the fish that are biting? It's the same mentality.
Yeah. But bandit signs actually might flop for you. It might, but it also might do really well. So we don't want to risk that for your own business, dude. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. Heck, go even harder on it, dude. Okay. And then on the side here, add bandit signs.
Okay, cool.
You got it.
One more thing. And I know you guys have like other people like going over your Facebook group. Are people allowed to like reach out, like post and like say they want to do JVs with folks, or is that like a
do it through the DMs, dude? The problem is I would have 1,000 posts like that a day.
Makes sense,
dude. It goes down in the DMs, bro. Do it. DM people, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And here's the coolest part about it. You're right. Let me give you a secret of the group. You can search people in a group of where they live.
What? How you do that?
Find the friends, and then you can go in the Facebook group and search where they live. Oh, or you just, I think, I don't know if YouTube's gonna allow. YouTube's getting really squirrely lately, but let's go into here.
If you're gonna be able to share it.
Yeah, I don't think I can share it, but if you go by members, go by where they live or what city they're at. And so, for example, search in the group and then search Longview, Texas, and it won't show Longview, Texas. It might show posts, but it'll give suggested people who live in the Longview, Texas.
Yeah.
And then if they're all the cities near you, and that's how you DM them from there.
Okay. I would definitely do that because I want to work with more people in JV because
Well, this is the best way to do it. Devin, what's your Instagram? Where can people hit you up?
Devin Hunt Official on
All right.
Instagram.
What about Facebook?
Facebook, Devin Hunt.
All right, bro.
And Devin, look where you see other people have bandit signs out, and sometimes you can strike an agreement. Like dating sites and like mattress companies are infamous for putting them out.
Lately, I think you gotta trust yourself.
Yeah, you gotta
this one.
trust yourself.
I've you don't put.
But just somebody's
Yeah.
asking, where do we know to put bandit signs? Like if you see them and they're staying up, that's a good place to start.
Right. Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. I will definitely do that. All right. Thank you guys.
I
Later.
appreciate it.
All right, see you.
All right, quick bonus, Junior. What's up? Good question.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
been patient, man. What's up?
So I have just like two really quick questions. So when I'm like looking for cash buyers, so like let's say I get a deal, should I like focus on cash buyers that are like in that like that are close near, or any kind of cash buyers, like even if they're like a few miles away, it doesn't really matter?
I like to focus close first, and then when no one wants to buy, I keep going
Spread it
out.
out.
I keep spreading out like a radius.
Okay. And then last quick real question is there's because I was driving for dollars, and there's a house like 8 minutes from me. It really like the siding is falling off. Same thing on like the garage. I was gonna call them right after this stream. I guess my question is because I was looking and I was doing comps. It's the prop stream says it's around estimated value like 310, but the comps are around at like 230, 220. And it's their only property. How likely do you think it is that if it's their only property that they be able to sell it? Because I know you guys have been in every situation.
All right, it's between 0 and 100%.
Okay.
You got to
Let-
call and find out.
Let's call and find out.
That's the name of the game in wholesaling. Everybody wants to predict the outcome before you even try. And boy, would I love that world. But the reality is you just have to do it. You don't try, you just do it. And then a small percentage decide to do a deal with you and change your life forever. And that's the secret. So many people, they want to predict the outcome. Life doesn't work that way. We all know where life's going to end up. So you might as well take the shot now and just swing the bat, because you condition yourself. They say, no, that's fine. Just move on to the next one. So just call. Don't overthink it, because that's where the anxiety ramps up and you guys mess with your head. It's just easier to rip the Band-Aid off and do it.
It's literally, it's not 44%. It's 0 or 100%. Once you call and they say yes or no, it's 100 or 0%. Call them up, bro.
Yeah.
I will. Appreciate y'all.
All
Okay,
right,
man.
get after it, man.
All right, I will. Appreciate it.
Boom. Love to put a bonus person on there. So
It's
guys,
just interesting because everybody wants a crystal ball. Do you think they'll do it? I don't know. Call them. Like that's honestly, I sum up my 20 years, take a shot, because you already know where you're coming from. So what do you really got to lose? Just call and connect. You connect with enough people, they will give you what you want, but you gotta put the work in.
here's the thing about wholesaling. It's the best analogy is baseball. I've been watching the World Baseball Classic, so I'm a lot more into baseball.
I'm in March
this
Madness right now. Full
So
mode.
but this is like baseball, okay? You get a pitch, you don't have to swing, right?
Yeah.
And what if the pitch is a strike? Guess what? They're not calling strikes. They're not even calling balls. And guess what happens when you miss the pitch? They can't call you out. They just, more pitches keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hit a homer, everybody gets to see it. But guess what happens if it's a pop fly? No one sees it. In wholesaling, they only see your success. So if you call a seller, and worst case scenario, which is not going to happen. I know Junior's going to do well in this, but he calls them up and they say, F you, you're a terrible person, blah, 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 mean thing. I'm not going to know. No one's going to care.
Yeah.
And Junior's going to forget about it in like 10 days, and he's going to go to the next deal. But if Junior gets a deal, he's going to be like, oh my God, I got all this deal. So no one's going to know about your failure. They're only going to know about your success. So go after it.
Yeah. And if you're in the batter's box, that type of deal, you'd be beamed with the ball and it hurts. You got to ice and you got to limp. Here, you're on the phone. Like even if they beam you, it doesn't hit you. It just hits your mind. And if you condition your mind and go, listen, I'm bigger than that. I understand I have to get through no's to get to yes. Then it won't hurt you as much. The problem is a lot of you guys are operating in your old mindset that didn't give you the life that you want. So to go to the new life that you want, you're going to have to get rid of the old one. It's painful and it's hard, but you know it needs to be done. So don't live by the old rules coming into wholesaling. I'm okay with rejection. I expect it and I'm going to take it on. And that's the difference. If you try to bring the old lifestyle into the new lifestyle, they're going to clash and you're going to struggle. So you have to accept this is going to be a change, and anybody can change. And if you don't think you can change, you have to change. Only you can change yourself, not me, not Zach. You have to do it. And the easiest way to do is just go through the journey, period.
That's it. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you got any value, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Go to freewholesaling.com and learn exactly how to wholesale houses absolutely for free. So guys, I appreciate it. You want to be the next 16 people, make hundreds of thousands?
Now let's do this.
Freewholesaling.com. Next live stream will be me on Sunday. I'll be live on my personal YouTube channel. It's called Zach Ginn, Z-A-C-H.
Shocking.
And guess what? I'm posting an exclusive Zach Ginn video tomorrow. The Flip of the Rick channel is going to have its own video tomorrow, which will be pretty cool. And then you are going to post your own video. If you're not subscribed to Rick Ginn, go to his channel. He's live on Mondays too.
Yeah, Monday.
So that's
It's a little
it.
wild.
So what time Sunday do I go live? I go live at 10 p.m.
Eastern.
10 p.m. I know it's late, but guess what? The West Coasters get to actually talk to me.
Yeah.
Get to talk to me one-on-one a lot more. And it's just a time. Usually the younger kids are up by then. And you at 5 o'clock on Monday. So guys,
I got to go to
there's no
bed.
excuse. A lot of live streams ready to go. So guys, hit that like button, subscribe, go to freewholesaling.com. Make sure you hit all the YouTube channels and see you guys soon. Have
See
a
you
rough
guys.
one.
Thanks.